with me study abroad in the UK. Okay, first of all, I just want to extend our gratitude to UiTM Seremban and also the BACAS Society for inviting us over to present this webinar to very keen students who are thinking about studying in the UK. Okay, I'm your host this morning. My name is Sai, and I have along with some of my cabin crews. Okay, so they will be covering each part, okay, of the sessions. Without further ado, I'll just take the remaining time to run through a very quick outline of today's webinar. Okay, right. We are at 10 o'clock, so this is me doing a welcome message and also introductions to UKEC. And right after, we will be heading right into the first sessions of why studying in the UK. We look at some of the reasons who still stand even during a pandemic. Okay, and then right after that, my colleague Jay, she will be covering what to expect. You know, it's a full cycle about the how to apply, what is the entry requirements. I see many of you have questions when you register, so it will be a good, useful session. And in session 3, my colleague Honwai, he is going to present on how do you go about choosing a course and a university. What are some of the key factors you need to consider? Okay, and of course, we will open the floor for Q&A, for question and answers. And yes, and it's rightly so because you have all taken the trouble. I know this is Ramadan, a fasting month. It's not been easy to be up at this hour, still up at this hour. Okay, so yes, we will do a group photo and we will have some prize giveaway. Okay, there are some merchandise from the UK as a souvenir. So yes, do stay with us until the end. Right. Before I start, I just want to give a brief introduction of who we are. Okay, and UKEC stands for United Kingdom Education Centre. We are an education consultancy specializing in UK and Ireland, Irish higher education. Okay, so if you're thinking about UK or Ireland, then you can look for us. Our global HQ is actually based in Manchester in the UK. Right, so this is us. This is St. James Building, located on Oxford Street in Manchester. We currently have more than 20 branch offices spread across 4 countries. Okay, so you can find we currently represent more than 100 universities worldwide. Majority of them are UK universities, Irish universities, and as well as some of the UK transnational campuses in Malaysia. Okay, I'm sure you have heard the likes of University of Nottingham, Newcastle, Southampton, Hereward, and Reading. So that's what I meant. Okay, you can find us throughout the UK. You see all the names from Glasgow, Edinburgh, Newcastle, Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, Leicester, Coventry, Cardiff, London, and you can also find us in Ireland, in Dublin. Okay, so that's where we are. In terms of Malaysia, we're currently located in Bandar Sunway, literally just behind Sunway Pyramid and next to Sunway University. Okay, right. These are just some of the list of our partner universities. Don't worry if you can't check out the small logos. You can go on our website. Then you can have a full view of all our partner universities. And here are our Irish partner universities, you know, the likes of Trinity College Dublin, UCD, as well as National University of Ireland, Galway. For the transnational campuses, these are the few names that I mentioned. And we also have an Irish transnational campus specializing in medicine. Okay, so this is located in Penang. We have also transnational campus in China. This is a joint venture between Xi'an Jiao Tong and Liverpool University, as well as Nottingham with their campus in Ningbo. Okay, so what is it that we believe? Okay, as UKEC, as an education consultancy, we believe that each student is unique. Okay, each of you is individual. You have your own learning style, your own preferences, your motivational factors and force is all different. It's all unique to yourself. So which is why we believe that our counseling should be personalized, and our goal is to make sure that when you are at the point of making a big decisions as where to study, what to study, you will feel empowered. You are able to make informed decisions. And this is not just an education opportunity, but this is a life opportunity. Okay, because potentially if you're doing a degree or a master's, you're going to spend a couple of years over at a country where you have chosen. Right? How can we achieve that? Okay, so we do that by offering personalized counseling. So each of you will actually, to students who use our service, we have a dedicated counselor who will walk you through from the beginning until you enroll and so on and so forth. Okay, so in application guidance, we guide you through your documents preparations, guiding you with your personal statement, as well as offering proofreading. If there is interview involved, we will tell you what to expect. We run education fair every year. Currently, they are mostly virtual fairs. So if you stay tuned with us, then you probably have learned a few. You will learn more things from us. Our next up is in late June. Okay, so be sure to check us out. We also facilitate student sharing sessions. Okay, we invite current students who are already in the UK to share their experience about study and also life in the UK. Okay, so you get a first-hand experience. Of course, down the line, it will come a time when you are ready for your visa application, your UK visa application. It is not very cheap. Okay, it can be expensive, so you make sure you get it right the first time. And UKEC is here to make sure you can do that. We have a pre-departure briefing, meaning every year before you depart for the UK, we gather our students. So this time it can still be virtually. We prepare you what to expect, how much you should bring, what can you bring, what happens upon arrival, so on and so forth. And yes, we have a UKEC alumni network where it's a platform. We connect all our students, okay, so that you guys can build friendship. You can even support one another, even before you leave for the UK. While you're still in Malaysia, you can already connect with our alumni. Last but not least, if that is not enough, currently we have mentors. So if you require further support, you can ask to match to a mentor. Okay, a mentor can be someone who is studying at the same university or in the same city as you. People who already have the pre-exposure to life in the UK. So they will be able to loop you in. So anything about shopping, about bank account, etc., especially about your academic studies, they will be able to guide you. Okay, so yes, that is in a nutshell what UKEC is. I'm going to pass the next session, the time, to Joyce. She will be sharing with you the exciting things about why you should consider study in the UK. So over to you now, Joyce.
Thank you very much, Sai. Let me just put up my screen. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us. Thank you, Sai, for the introduction. I know during Sai's outline earlier, it says that this part is about why study in the UK. But as my title suggests, I'm going to throw in something extra for you. I'm going to also link it to why study in the UK and Ireland, because they're so close to each other. And I think a lot of aspects that we're going to discuss with regards to studying in the UK would definitely be applicable to studying in the Ireland as well. Okay, so without further ado, let us just dive straight into our first stop, which is why study in the UK and Ireland. I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why I think we should consider studying in the UK and Ireland. Some of these 5 reasons, of course, you can actually use it to apply on other countries and think whether or not these other countries have these aspects and whether or not you want to consider other countries. But here are the 5 reasons. Now, the first one, of course, is the academic reputation. Okay, it is world-renowned. Everyone knows that studying in the UK is good because they have good universities like Cambridge and Oxford. They are world-renowned. Even in the QS World Ranking, if you look at it, in the top 10 universities, 4 of them are actually from the UK, okay, which is a very high percentage. So it does show that whether it's their research or their teaching methods, it's all really reputable from the UK. Now, when we first talk about reputable UK universities, you might actually have thoughts, okay, have image that goes to, oh, traditional looking universities, or some of you might have come across the term Russell Group universities, or even the G5 universities, and thinking that actually UK and Ireland study may be only applicable to these Russell Group, these G5 universities, and I should forget about the rest of the universities. Actually, I'm just here to tell you that you could widen up your scope, widen up your perspective to consider all other universities as well. Why do I say so? Firstly, on top left, top picture, that is Trinity College Dublin. It's the oldest university in Ireland. At the bottom, that's the University of Sheffield. It's also the university that I graduated from. Now, these universities are what we call the traditional universities. They are usually very well known for their research. and the funding that they get for the universities to undergo very, what do we say, cutting edge research, okay? And so what they do is, these traditional universities, they are very, we call them research focused. Okay, but I also want to introduce to you other universities which are more modern. Sorry, skip the slide. Okay, now on top one, we have De Montfort University. De Montfort University, this building is the new building for their art and design students. Okay, as for the bottom one, it's Robert Gordon University, situated in Aberdeen. Robert Gordon University is well known for their health sciences course. Okay, now the reputation that we mentioned earlier, it applies to both traditional universities as well as modern universities. I mentioned earlier that traditional universities are more research driven, but modern universities, they have courses which are more relevant to the job demands in the industry right now. Okay, so it improves the chances of graduates being employed. So if you talk about courses such as, I don't know, digital marketing with graphic design, or combination of different major, okay, you would usually find these courses in what we call the modern universities more than you find these courses at traditional universities. So it really does depend what type of courses that you're looking for, or what sort of degrees, what sort of skills that you want to hone in your university studies. Okay, but I still stand when I say that the academic reputation is good in the UK and Ireland. It applies to all their modern as well as traditional universities. So as you're doing your research, okay, don't just focus. I mean, yes, they are good. The G5, the Russell Group universities, the universities with 100 years old, do look at them, okay? But if, let's say, you want something more different, you want something that's more in line with the market, the industry demands, okay, then also widen up your scope and look at the modern universities as well, okay? So that was my first reason for choosing to study in the UK and Ireland. Now, my second reason, I hope you're taking notes, okay? Because these are, I mean, this is one of the rare occasions we get to come and speak to you guys. And yes, please do take notes. And if, let's say, I think Sai forgot to mention earlier as well, if you have any questions during the talk, whether it's for my session or whether it's for my colleague's session later on, type it in the chat box, okay? As we go along, type it in. We will have a Q&A session as well, and we will pick up your questions and answer them, okay? Right, my second reason is the opportunities to gain work experience during or even after you study, okay? Now, a lot of students, when we get that opportunity to go overseas to study, we want to graduate with not just a degree certificate. We want to actually come home being a changed person. We want to have that new skills, that new perspective to life or to our career. We want to gain that different edge that enable us to be a step ahead of other people, okay? So a lot of students, international students especially, they really, really appreciate the opportunity to actually be able to gain work experience when they're at the UK or Ireland, okay? Now, I want to share with you, at this point, I will be focusing mostly on post-study, okay? After you graduate. So in the UK, currently, they have reintroduced this visa for students who graduate from a UK university. You can apply 2 years of visas, okay? 2 years of visa after you graduate from their degree, and you can use that visa to look for a job, to travel, to do back traveling, to look for a job, graduate job, part-time jobs. That visa allows you to gain that international experience that you potentially cannot quite get when you are when you come back home straight away, immediately. Okay, so that gives you the opportunity to see the world differently, to get in touch or to network, to form networks with people all around the world. And this postgraduate visa is not just applicable to students who graduate from the UK. Students who graduate from Ireland, actually, if you complete your undergraduate degree, you get to apply for 1 year of visa. If you complete your master's degree in Ireland, you get to apply for up to 2 years of visa to continue to seek employment opportunities and to gain that network, to build that network with people from all around the world. Okay, I should also mention that a lot of these big companies, institutions, whether it's financial, pharmaceutical, internet-based companies, a lot of them have their European hub based in the UK or Ireland. And one thing that potentially it didn't cross your mind previously is that I'm sure most of you know about Brexit, okay, that UK, United Kingdom, is now outside of the Eurozone. They have sort of like divorced from the Eurozone, okay? So that makes Ireland currently the one country in the Europe that is English speaking. Okay, so if let's say you want to expand your network, you want to find your opportunities in Europe, Ireland probably is one of the best choice, okay? Because it's English speaking, you don't need to learn a new language. And if let's say you do graduate from a university there, you get to have the visa that allows you to work, which means you can actually use the visa to go across the Eurozone. Okay, so that is some of the great advantages for international students to choose UK and Ireland for their higher education. Right, I'm coming to my reason number 3. Plenty of support for the huge and growing international students population. As we all know, like we said earlier, UK and Ireland, they have such a good reputation. So a lot of international students, they want to just go to these countries to study, okay? Gaining the experience, learning from top-notch lecturers or universities. So UK and Ireland has these huge and growing international populations. This actually means that universities are doing the best they can to support their international students. Okay, I think in 2017, okay, UK was actually ranked first by international students for overall satisfaction. 91% of these students reported that they are satisfied with their experience in the UK. Okay, now what do I mean by this support for international students? Let me show you some examples, all right? Now, the first one is the number of societies that you can find in a university. This is an example. So this is University of Loughborough. They have over 100 student societies for you to choose from. I mean, I don't know how many societies you have right now at your college or even in your high school previously, but they have look at the examples. They have drone societies, they have hot air balloon, they even have Harry Potter and Quidditch. I don't know if there's any Harry Potter fans here because I don't know, is there like a generation gap between me and you? I was a Harry Potter fan, okay, still am now, but maybe slightly less. But I mean, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you want to know like what do they do with Harry Potter and Quidditch? How do you do Quidditch in real life? That's something that you can experience in one of these societies in the UK universities. Now, besides the societies, okay, there are other support that the university provides. Another example here, we have University of Essex. They provide support such as Nightline, language service, as well as resident mentor. Now, Nightline, they are some sort of peer counseling where in the evening, if let's say you are really having trouble, there's a phone line that you can always call to and get advice and seek help and guidance. They're always there to support you. Residence mentor is really important because when you go over to a new environment, when you stay at the student accommodation especially, you are living with people from all sorts of backgrounds, okay? People who share the same religions, people who don't share the same religions, living habits as well, okay? So that's why they have a residence mentor who is there to guide you guys, who is there to mediate any misunderstanding or any problems that you might face. So it does mean that they give you that support so that you have the best experience you could at your university life, okay? Another example, I have Kent, University of Kent, their student union, they run their own media department, okay? So in this student union, they have their own media department where they do their own DJing, they do their own broadcasting, which means students can actually use this opportunity to find whether or not their passion is within the media industry, okay? From getting speakers to come online, come on air, from behind the scenes, from videoing, shooting and everything. Students run all these by themselves. So if let's say you are exploring or you just want to gain that extra job skills, potentially it's somewhere you can try, okay? You can go and try and get a taster session and see whether or not that's something that you're interested in. Last but not least, I want to share a little bit about Ireland, okay? So this is National University of Ireland, Galway. They have this, I'm not going to try the CEIM, it's an Irish word. This program is for their senior, okay, your peer support from your second or third year students for your first year students, giving you tips or once a week meetings so that you'll be able to have greater understanding of your courseworks, you know how to prepare for your exams, how to read that long reading list that your lecturers has provided, develop your new skills and become a successful university student. Okay, so these are some of the supports that universities are giving. I'm not sure if you've lost me. If you have, hello, wake up, okay? We are coming to reason number 4. Okay, affordable cost of living. Now, I think even if you were not following me in the last 3 reasons, when I say affordable cost of living, a lot of students usually wake up at this point because to many students and parents as well, studying in the UK and Ireland, it's always an expensive thing. Affordable never come to their mind. Now, I want to sort of like clarify. I'm saying that it's affordable. I'm not saying that it's cheap. Okay. Why do I say so? Earlier, I said that you could actually apply for a post-study visa to continue to seek job when you graduate. Now, you'll be happy to know that in Ireland and UK, you can actually find part-time job even whilst you're studying. I want to give you an example. But before I give an example, let me just tell you that there is also the assurance of national minimum wage in both, okay, UK and Ireland, meaning to say that the government has set the national minimum wage, okay, the minimum salary that everyone can earn when they are working in these places, these countries, okay? So meaning to say you don't have to be worried that being an international student, will you be shortchanged by the employers? No, we are all protected under their policy and we will all be eligible for their national minimum wage. And national minimum wage, they change for different age group. If let's say you are between 18 to 20 years old, I think currently they are £6.15 per hour. I'm going to use UK as an example because I studied in the UK before. So if you are aged between 18 to 20, your hourly rate, okay, is £6.15. If let's say you do get a university job, usually it's better than £6.15. And let's say in UK, you get to work no more than 20 hours per week during your academic time. During the holiday, you can work full time. That's entirely up to you. So if let's say I am a student in the UK, I want to earn some part-time, I want to earn some extra pocket money, but I don't want to work for 20 hours because I want to enjoy my student life. Let's just say we work for 10 hours a week, okay? 10 hours a week, pretty simple to achieve. Maybe we're saying just 2 hours a day, Monday to Friday. Saturday and Sunday, you can take a rest, okay? Now, 2 hours a day, £6.15 per hour, meaning to say 1 week, 10 hours, I get to earn £61.50. Okay, I want to tell you that grocery, okay, back when I was studying, I usually spend 20 to a maximum of £30, okay, on my grocery shopping. And when I say grocery shopping, it involves balanced meals, okay, whether it's fish, chicken, what other things, vegetables, fruits. Sometimes I might have some cravings, get some nice dessert, ice cream, okay, or anything else. So these are the things that I could buy with 20 to £30. That means weekly, I earn £61, but I only use 20 or £30. I get to save up another 30 or even £40 every week. And when you save up all this money, you get to eventually either go out for a meal with your friends, get some experience, whether it's watching musicals, some live shows, or even do some backpack traveling around the UK. Okay, so it is very affordable. That's why I said it is affordable. Okay, as long as we don't mind putting in extra work just going out and experience this and looking for some part-time jobs. There are part-time jobs being offered at the university as well. So if let's say you feel that, oh, I don't feel safe enough to go and work at a restaurant or anything, there are plenty of jobs, whether it's at the university cafe or whether it's becoming a university ambassador or whether it's becoming a teaching assistant. Okay, these are a lot of jobs that you could consider within the university setting. So that's why I say it is affordable cost of living. Now, coming to my last reason, okay? My last reason, they have rich history and culture, stunning countryside and buzzing cities. I'm not sure if you are a person who likes countryside or if you're a person who prefers city, okay? Plenty of options for you to travel around when you're in UK or in Ireland, okay? Let me show you some examples. So within the UK, you could consider going to Scotland, okay? Find out what is about military tattoo, if you like all the bagpipes and things like that, okay? Football fans, any football fans out here? I mean, you always stay up late to watch English Premier League, okay? Right now, if you study in the UK, you don't need to stay up late. You can just go in the afternoon or early evening to catch a match, okay? Also, the tickets are, I think some of the tickets, they have student price as well. So if you look into it, you could potentially get something that's affordable. If you like cities, London, plenty of other cities, Manchester, Birmingham, Scotland, Edinburgh, all these places are good for sightseeing as well and know about their history. Shopping, there's plenty of shopping places. If you like the countryside, this one, I think it was Snowdonia, it's a national park, and then the Giant Causeway in Northern Ireland. What about the island, okay? Down in Ireland, you have what we call this is the Cliffs of Moher. Again, beautiful scenery. In fact, I think Northern Ireland, they have a few, I don't know if there's any Game of Thrones fans here, okay? Plenty of scenes were shot at Northern Ireland as well, okay? So, I mean, just go and explore and see the world. Learn about their culture. What do they celebrate for St. Patrick's Day? Okay, now outside of UK, so UK and Ireland is this place, okay, in this circle. In the Europe, okay, where you can go, like Paris or Switzerland, Italy, Greece, Amsterdam, or even the Arctic Circle, okay, to catch that aurora. Everything is within reach, okay? You'll be able to save up some money, do some backpack traveling, and see the world and just learn new things, okay? Now, I am coming to my summary now. Okay, I hope you remember the 5 reasons that I shared with you earlier. Okay, if you haven't really been following my 5 reasons, this is a good time for you to just do a quick recap with me. The first reason why studying in the UK and Ireland is their world-renowned academic reputation, which applies to both traditional as well as modern universities. Great opportunities for you to gain work experience, whether it's during study or even after you've graduated. There's also plenty of supports for international students, affordable cost of living. As I mentioned, you can work part-time to just earn the extra pocket money for yourself. And also, last but not least, opportunities to travel around. Okay, now I have shared with you these 5 reasons. I'm going to replay. I think we have time. Yes, I'm going to replay the video that Sai shared earlier because I know a lot of you literally just joined us. You might have missed the video that we shared earlier. So this video, I just want to reshare it again because it captured that experience of studying in the UK. Okay, enjoy the video and then I'll get my colleague Jay. She'll be coming up next and telling you about the next stage, the application, things that you need to know, okay? Right, enjoy the video as I get it up for you guys.
wonderful.
London City, hello.
More women taking over the world.
Come on then.
Where to?
Home, I should think.
Okay, I hope you have enjoyed that. And Jay, it's your turn now.
Yep, thank you. Thank you, Joyce. Hi, everyone. My name is Jay. So if the session just now do confirm your interest, so what is next for you? So as you know that my topic here is cover about all the things you need to know when you are deciding to study in the UK. So here is what I'm going to cover today, and it will be I will talk to you about the education pathway and the duration of the course, and then will be the requirement, which is academic and English as well. After that will be the tuition fees, application method, and lastly, my other colleague will also talk to you about the factor to consider when choosing a university. So now let us start with the education pathway. So I will be starting from the SPM level. All right. So all of you here, I believe that after SPM, we are either choose to progress into a foundation or a diploma degree, a diploma course. So yeah, if you are wondering why the sizes of the box is different, so actually the sizes of the box represent the duration of the study. So here you can see that foundation is shorter than the diploma, because diploma it will take up to 2.5 years to complete. So now let us continue to move forward. So after the foundation, a student will be able to progress into the first year of the undergraduate degree. But how about diploma? Actually, for diploma holder, diploma by default is equivalent to the first year of degree in the UK. So diploma holder actually can apply to start from second year directly, which we call it as advanced entry application. All right. However, not all the universities are able to accept this advanced entry, especially for those highly ranked universities. So if you would like to know more about this, do feel free to chat with your assigned advisor. All right. And after you have completed your undergrad degree, you will be able to continue with a postgraduate, which is also we call it as master degree if you want to. All right. So that is the education pathway that you can take note of. And now we come to this duration of study. For undergrad degree, as you know that just now, generally it will take you 3 years to complete, but for engineering program, and it will take you up to 4 years to complete. While for master degree, it will be a full 1 year of study, and the intake is available in January and September every year, but September is the major intake for all the universities. All right, so now we come to this requirement. First, I will talk about the academic. All right, so for undergraduate degree, the minimum CGPA that the university asking for is 2.5 and above, while for master degree, the minimum CGPA is the university asking for is second lower class, which is about CGPA 2.7. But do bear in mind that if today you are applying to a higher ranking university in the UK, their entry requirement tend to be higher as well. So on the safer side, we would advise students to try your best to achieve a CGPA 3.0 to have a wider options. All right, so today if you are working towards it, do work harder. All right, we believe that you can achieve that. All right, so also, tips to share with you all, before you apply to the university, remember to check with the entry requirement. If you're unsure about the entry requirement, do check with us, all right? Now we come to this English requirement. If you are from IGCSE or SPM background, both of the English qualification is actually able to accept by the UK university if you have grade C and above. However, some of the courses, some of the universities that would ask for a slightly higher grade as well. And also a note for you to take note, for especially if you are from SPM background. So if you are holding SPM 1119 English, so in most of the cases, the university only can accept the SPM 1119 if it is not more than 5 years. So let's say if you today, your SPM 1119 is already more than 5 years, or what you can do. So this is the other English language test that you can consider. And because of the pandemic last year, universities started to accept more English tests, like for example, like TOEFL, IBT, and Duolingo that listed here. Both of them is an online test, so it's started to accept by the university because of the pandemic last year. So if this year you do plan to take this TOEFL, IBT, and Duolingo as well, do remember to cross-check with the university whether are they still accepting for this year intake. All right. So I will talk to you about the IELTS academic in entry requirement, because this is usually the most familiar, the most common English requirement among our Malaysian. So yeah, so if you are thinking to take this test, so the minimum score you need to score is band 6.0 overall with minimum 5.5 in each component. While for master degree, it will be slightly higher. It will be a band 6.0 overall with minimum 6.0 in each component. All right, so this will be the English requirement you need to take note of. So now we come to this annual tuition fees. Annual tuition fees. So we have basically categorize the course into two groups. So one is classroom based, another one is laboratory based. So laboratory based is more from engineering and sciences based degree programs. For example, like if you are going for chemistry or biomedical science, this one will fall under the laboratory base. And do note that if you are going for laboratory based course, the tuition fee will be slightly higher compared to the classroom base, which is usually you can see you already can see the range of tuition fees here. From here, which I think you should also take note of, which will help you work for the section later on. All right. And now we come to this funding opportunity. So this is the most common one we always heard from our students. So this funding opportunity is available to both undergraduate and also master's degree level. Usually this funding amount would cover tuition fees as well as the living costs, things you need to check before you apply to this funding. All right, so you need to check the requirement. Each of the scholarship provider, they have their own requirement. All right, so generally they're asking for a minimum GPA 3.5 to 3.9. So remember to check this as well before you apply. And also check for the accepted subjects and also approved universities by the scholarship provider. This is very important. And then also it will be the application deadline. Each of the provider, they also have their own deadline. So this one, student have to also go through it as well before you apply. And just let me give you a very quick example, which is the funding opportunity provided by MARA, and they are funding. This one actually is this graduate excellence program is actually funding for master's degree level. So they have their own specific requirement. So it's listed here. So they still have to achieve a CGPA 3.75 at least, and you have to also achieve your IELTS result as well. And also your university choices have to be among top 20 university by the program or in the UK. All right, so if you're wondering what is QS World Ranking, my colleague later on will also share you a little bit about the QS World Ranking. All right, remember to take note. Yeah. So now you have know about the funding opportunity by our Malaysia here. But how about those funding opportunity offered by UK university? Yes, there is as well. So there is two types of scholarship offering by the UK universities. The first one is merit-based scholarship, which means that after you receive an offer, you will need to put in an application. All right. So I have listed down 3 universities here for you to actually to have a look as a reference. But of course, actually there is more university, just that I didn't include it. All right. So if you have any particular university in mind, do feel free to chat with us. So you can see that the university here, they're offering up to a 50% tuition fees waiver per year. All right. So this one is required your application after you receive an offer. So we now come to the second type of scholarship they're offering by UK university. So this is, we call it a guaranteed scholarship, which means that as long as you are successfully to secure an offer from the university will automatically award this scholarship for you. And usually we also call it as a bursary type of discount. So it will be slightly lower amount compared to the merit-based scholarship. All right. So here is a few for you to refer. So you can see that the discount can be up to £3,000. Yep. And yes, now we come to this application method. So for all the undergraduate program, you have to apply through UKEC, which stands for Universities and Colleges Admission Service. So this is the official method for you to apply to study in the UK for an undergraduate degree. So that when you can start to apply, it open every year in the early September and will last until end of June. You can see that they are open, like they last for quite a long period, but doesn't mean that you can apply anytime whenever you want. They do have a specific deadline for the university. Like for example, 15th of January is the deadline for all the UK university. So if you do plan to go into enroll for the September 2022 intake, remember that you can already start to apply by this year, September 2021. All right. So for those students that are still aiming to go into this year intake, it is still open. All right. So you can still apply now. How you can apply? You just need to register an account, and you can apply up to 5 programs or university. And when you apply through UKEC actually will charge you a fee which is £26, about like 140 ringgit Malaysia. So if you apply under UKEC Malaysia, UKEC will be able to waive your UKEC application fees as well. So remember that if you would like to apply, do approach your site advisor and discuss with them about your plan. All right. So now we come to this master degree application. So master degree application is more straightforward. So application can be made directly to the universities, and some universities they have early deadline for certain courses. So remember that you do always need to check for this as well, so that ensure that you don't miss the deadline. All right. And now you know that how if you already decided to apply, that would be great. So yeah, and now we'll become to this document checklist where you need to get ready for your application. A lot of students always ask me, is it compulsory for me to wait until I have my final result only apply? The answer is no. You can apply even before your final result release. You just need to provide your every semester result up to the latest one will do. All right. And I just want to special highlight for the reference letter. So you can see that for undergrad degree application, you only need 1 reference, while for master's degree, you are compulsory to provide at least 2 references. All right. And for personal statement, not to worry about this, because if you are decided to apply, so your assigned advisor actually will guide you through how you can write for the personal statement. And while for the English language test certificate, if you do not have this at the point of your application, don't worry, you do need to provide this yet. You can provide it later on after you receive an offer. All right. So basically, this is the checklist that you need to get ready for application. So now I come to this application timeline. If you are still aiming to join this September 2020 intake, by when you should start to apply. So this is the application cycle that you can take note of, you can refer. So first, you will start with the consultation and prepare required document like those like listed here, and also those that I mentioned to you earlier. So after you've done this step, you get ready all the document, then you will proceed to submit application. After that, after the university review your application, they will decide to release an offer to you or reject you. So this is where you start to receive and accept the offer after that. After that, you will, if you decided to enroll, then you will be processed. You will process to apply for student visa, followed by collect the visa, and after that, if you can, then you can join our pre-departure day and also ready for depart. So now I will give you a more specific timeline. So all this timeline is if everything go on very smooth, then you will follow this timeline. All right. So for example, today next Monday, you decided you want to apply, and then you're able to prepare your document within this April. All right, you submit your application by maybe after 2 weeks, it will be in May. All right, so you submit your application by May. After that, about like 4 to 8 weeks time, the university will only release their decision to you. So it's where you start to receive accept offer in about May or June. After that, if you decided to go for it, it will be like take about 1 week time for you to actually meet all the conditions like paying the deposit, tuition fee deposit, or like meeting the English requirement. So it will be about July already. So July, and then after that, when you apply for visa, it actually will take you minimum of 15 working days for the visa center to process your visa. So when you apply visa in July, so means that most likely you will getting your visa in August. After that, you will be joining our pre-departure day in August, and you will be depart to start your course in September usually. So this is the most ideal timeline for the student if everything goes smooth. So let's say if you do want to apply, I really encourage you to apply as early as possible already, because you can see that there is quite a lot of stuff you still have to do even after you receive the offer. All right, so I hope this one gives you a clearer idea about what is next for you. And that's all from my session. I will actually pass it to my colleague, Hon Wai, to continue his section.
All right. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for sharing. Perhaps let me share my screen first. Oh, sorry. Right. Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Hon Wai. I'm the counselor here in UKEC. Right. Let's say after hearing from Joyce, Jay, if it really draw your interest to study in the UK, all right, you know what are the documents you need to prepare, you know how's the timeline like, yeah, what are the things you have to know. Yes, probably here, I mean, you have another question in your mind that, yeah, what are the things that I should consider, like I have to take note when on choosing a university. So in this session, I'm going to share with you this, like the main 5 factors that you may want to consider when choosing a university. All right, so without further ado, let me share with my first factor. Okay, yes, first of all, the very first one is actually definitely finances. Okay, when I talk about finances, what does it mean? Okay, mainly these two, tuition fees as well as living costs. Okay, so let's talk about tuition fees first. Actually, Jay shared with you like how's the range of tuition fee of UK universities. One thing we have to admit, which is we know that higher ranking universities, they always have higher tuition fees. So really, you have to discuss with your family, know about your budget, make sure that you actually can afford to fund your study throughout the whole program in the UK. All right. So other than tuition fees, living cost is another one that you have to know. Just now Joyce actually shared that, yeah, studying in the UK is wouldn't say cheap, but it's actually quite affordable. So there's one thing I want to highlight here is, okay, if you're staying in different location, probably have different amount of living costs that you might have to spend. Okay, so before I proceed with living costs, let's talk a little bit more about tuition fee first. So I have some of the examples here. I'm going to show you. So I mentioned that yes, higher ranking universities, they always have higher tuition fees, and of course it depends whether you are studying a classroom based kind of course or lab-based kind of course. So I actually gave you 3 examples here, like there are Birmingham City University, University of East Anglia, and Warwick. And I'm not sure, probably most of you have heard of Warwick, University of Warwick. Yes, Warwick is quite well known. Ranking is quite high, but from here you can also see that yes, University of Warwick, they actually have much higher fees if you're comparing to other university. Yes, like Birmingham City University, University of East Anglia. If you think that you just want to experience in the UK, like to study in the UK, ranking probably is not the main concern of you. I would strongly encourage you to like consider the university, okay, which they have a slight lower fees compared to others. Like Birmingham City University, for the accounting and finance, they actually have the tuition fee is about 13,200 per year, which is really affordable compared to others. Okay, so next one, talk about location. Okay, what I want to highlight here is if you are studying in London, okay, London, the living cost is definitely higher comparing you are studying in other cities, other places in the UK. This concept is very simple. It's like you are staying in KL. Okay, we know that KL in Malaysia always have higher living costs compared to other places like probably Ipoh, Penang, you know. Yes. So according to UKVI, UK government, the living cost is actually 25 or 50% more expensive than other cities in the UK. All right. Give you an example. Here's the table. Okay, this is also based on UK government, UKVI. Okay, if you are studying inside London, the estimated amount that you will spend if you're staying in London, probably it will be about 13,000. Okay, if you're staying outside London, it will be around 1,000 per month. Again, it really depends on your personal lifestyle. I wouldn't say that if you're staying inside London, you are going to spend this much amount for your study per month. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Again, it really depends on your lifestyle. If you're not that kind of really kind of big spending kind of person, yeah, probably you might spend less than that. And of course, one thing to take note, this living cost is actually include your accommodations. Okay, so finances is very important. Yes, before you choose universities, probably you might have to know about their tuition fees, the place that you are going to study. Discuss your family, know that yeah, you can really, I mean, your family, you yourself can actually fund yourself throughout the whole study of the program. Okay, next one, entry requirements. Okay, just now, Jay actually shared about UKAS application for master program students, right? You can actually do your application directly to the universities, all right? And for those applying through UKAS, okay, you have 5 choices. You can apply up to 5 universities. So this part is mainly, okay, I'm going to share this part, entry point. It's mainly for those who want to apply through UKAS, okay? So we know that for those, most of you are actually a diploma student, and you are actually having the chance to get into second year or final year. We call it as advanced entry. Okay, so yes, some of the university in the UK that actually accept students into second year, and there are also universities that accept students into their final year. We also call it as top up. So you really have to take note. If you are interested, let's say you don't have that, you think that starting 3 years degree in the UK probably is a bit too much, okay, out of your budget, you might opt to apply for like second year or maybe final year. Yes, you can actually discuss with your assigned counselor. We will actually share you more like what are the options you can apply to. Okay, next one, yes, since you're applying through UKAS, we know that you have 5 choices. You can apply up to 5 universities. We always tell students, yeah, have a good mix of your choices in order to maximize your chances. What does it mean? Okay, like let me give you an example. Let's say you have a current CGPA of 3.50. Okay, so we always tell students, yeah, you can actually aim higher, which means that you can aim those universities which have a higher entry requirements, like probably 2. You can apply 2 universities which require CGPA of 3.6 or above, which is higher than your current CGPA, and then apply another 2 universities, which is like matching with your current CGPA, and keep 1 university as your insurance choice. Okay, probably you can opt to apply like those 1 university which having lower entry requirements. So probably you really need to think on this. So no matter how your final result is, I would say that you will still guarantee at least 1 offer letter in your hand. Okay, so entry requirements, this part is mainly for those applying through UKAS, so you really have to take note on this. So if let's say you already completed your diploma, then this probably is not an issue. You just need to think on whether you want to apply to second year or final year. Okay, the next, okay, let me give you some examples. The university who actually accept second year entry. So here are some of the university, 3 university I'm going to show you. Cardiff University, University of the West of England, University of East Anglia. This university actually accepting students into their second year. Of course, not only limited to these 3, there are actually many more considering diploma students going into their second year, which I did not put everything in all the university in. Another example, final year entry. Okay, they are actually University of Northampton, they have this top-up program, University of Sunderland, University of Greenwich. Yeah, this university accepting students going to their top-up program, which is the final year entry. Okay, so next one, reputation. Yeah, when we talk about reputation, right, a lot of people will think of the ranking of the university. Yes, this is definitely one of the main concerns of students. Yeah, because you really want to go to those good university. So when I talk about ranking, please allow me to share this with you. Yeah, there are actually many ranking systems like to evaluate universities in the world or maybe in the UK. So the first two I'm going to share with you is QS World University Ranking, Times Higher Education Ranking. So these two are the ranking system which evaluate global universities. So not only UK university, but also other university from other countries. But if you really want to solely focus on UK university, I'm going to share this with you. Yes, the Times Sunday Times School University Ranking, Guardian University Guide Ranking, as well as Complete University Guide Ranking. These three are mainly focused on UK universities. Okay, so again, if you have this question in your mind that, yeah, how do I know which ranking system should I refer to? Okay, which ranking system should I look at? Yeah, so just to let you know that different ranking systems that actually evaluate universities differently. Okay, just to let you know, like for example, QS World University Ranking. Okay, this QS World University Ranking really focus on the research quality, the research strength of the universities. Of course, it also focus more on the reputation of the university itself. Okay, whereas higher education ranking is focused more on teaching quality. So really, you need to look at like what you really want, which one is really your preference, then you refer to the ranking system. Yes, one more thing to take note, for Guardian University Guide Ranking, right, it actually focus more on student satisfaction level instead of focus more on the research and teaching quality. If let's say you feel like, yeah, I really want to have a really good uni experience, right? Yeah, probably Guardian University Guide Ranking is the one that you can look at. All right. So next, we have this grading and award systems. Okay, other than ranking system, this grading award system also will actually give an influence to the reputation of the university itself. Yes, the first two teaching and research excellence framework is quite obvious here. We know that yes, these two are actually referring to the teaching and research quality of the of the UK universities. So there is this National Student Survey, NSS. Yes, this is actually a survey conducted to check like how's the student satisfaction towards their current universities. Okay, so and we have this University of the Year Award, Queen's Anniversary Prize. These two are mainly award to those universities actually contributed a lot to the society, to the community. Okay, so when we talk about the reputation of the universities, probably you might need to take on the ranking system as well as the grading and award system. Okay, let me give you some examples here. Okay, we like I say, if let's say you really want to focus on the good ranking universities, right? But we know that in overall higher ranking universities, they actually have higher fees, which you can't really afford that much tuition fees. That's another alternative we always tell the students, we always share the students. Yes, please don't just look at the overall ranking of a university, but instead we should focus on the subject ranking of the university. Because we know that different universities, they might have different strength, right? So we know that probably this university, they are really strong in the engineering programs. There's another university really strong in the art and design program. So sometimes looking at subject ranking is actually better than like only looking at the overall ranking of the university. So I actually take this from Complete University Guide 2021. Okay, it is actually a subject ranking for accounting and finance for the UK university. So you can actually see here what I'm trying to say is, if you look at this table, the top 5, right, which is stronger in accounting and finance field, you can see that sometimes not necessarily the top few universities are actually Oxford University, Oxford or Cambridge, or the traditional university. You can actually see there are actually some other non-Russell Group university, like for example, you look at this number 4, University of Aberdeen. It's actually a non-Russell Group university, but it's actually quite strong in accounting and finance. So again, not necessarily Oxbridge will always be the top 1 and top 2. Yes, if let's say you really want to study accounting and finance, probably you can look at the subject ranking itself. Okay, another example, sport science, same. I got it from Complete University Guide 2021. Here's the ranking table. Okay, again, you can see that, yeah, I can see Glasgow, Aberdeen still here in the table, but there's some slight changes for number 3, 4, and 5. But again, you see Aberdeen, yeah, is the non-Russell Group university is still in the top, the top few universities. So really, you don't really need to look at the overall ranking, but subject ranking is really something that you might want to consider, you want to look at. Okay. So next one, research and compare courses. Yes, we know that sometimes when you choose a course to study, you might know that, yeah, many universities offering this course, like for example, mechanical engineering. All right, so you actually have shortlisted some university with which offer mechanical engineering. So when you choose which university to apply, you need to look at, yeah, whether the university offer the opportunity for work placement, the chance for you to study abroad, whether they have these opportunities. Okay, in case you are not really sure what is work placement, okay, work placement, we also call it as a sandwich year. Okay, it's actually a year for you to experience working in between your second year and your third year. So why do we always encourage students to opt for this work placement? Because it's actually I would say it's actually a valuable experience for students, because you actually have the chance, okay, to work in the industry. So during that 1 year of work placement, right, you actually can develop your soft skills in the workplace, like your leadership skills, your communication skills, and so on. Yeah. So it actually also lets you know more about the industry itself, whether, yeah, you really like the industry. Okay. Other than that, it also helps you in your resume, your CV. So in case you plan, since you have 2 years work study visa in the UK, once you completed your degree, you actually can you beautify your CV resume. It also increase the chances of you to secure a job in the UK as well. So this work placement is really a good opportunity for students, I would say. And yeah, one thing to take note, this work placement is always a paid placement. Which means that you will get paid when you are working. Yeah. So other than work placement, the opportunity to study abroad, probably you will also want to look at the course structure, the course modules of the program itself, how's the assessment methods under that universities. Okay, so sometimes you will find out that if let's say you are comparing this university A, university B, the mechanical engineering course, you will find out that, yeah, the modules is actually not the same. They are similar but not totally the same. So it really depends which one is your preference. Probably you like the modules, the subjects in university A, then you can apply to that university. Okay, and regarding the assessment methods, we know that different universities that have probably different ratio or different kind of assessment methods. It could be like through your coursework, assignments, a test, exam, a presentation, or maybe the combination of all this. So it also depends on your preference. Okay, so again, just a reminder, not all courses with the same title are identical in content, because there are a lot of things you have to take note. Okay, so let's let's take these as apples as examples. Okay, so one is red, one is green. Okay, we know these two are apples, but probably in terms of the taste, the texture, the acidity level, so it's not the same. Okay. Yes. So of course, in this slide, I'm going to give you an example. Okay, in the difference between University of Southampton and Sheffield, their mechanical engineering course modules. Okay, I took this. Okay, this is the left one is actually the year 1 modules of University of Southampton, and this one is actually the modules, year 1 modules from Sheffield. If you compare these two, right, you will notice that Southampton University, right, in the first year already, you already started to study those specialized subjects like design computing, D&E systems, mechanical subjects like mechanical system analysis, mechanics, structures and materials. So these are the specialized subjects. Whereas if you look at Sheffield one, this one, you will notice that it will mainly building students' foundation, okay, before entering their second year, third year. You can see the subjects like fundamental engineering science, part 1 and part 2. They are integrative projects. Okay, so these are the subjects which will help to build the foundation of the student. So again, there's no, I wouldn't say which one is best, which one is better, which one is not. It really depends on your own preference. Okay. Another example for placement year. Okay, I took this from University of Reading, their accounting and finance. This is a normal timeline, the duration. If you are taking accounting and finance without placement year, you study 3 years, year 1, year 2, and year 3. So if you are taking a placement year, okay, the placement year will be between your year 2 and year 3, the one in blue. So that will be a placement year, and probably you will need to spend 1 more year to complete your accounting and finance degree. Okay, so this is the example. All right. Okay, the last one but not least, university life and culture. Okay, so when I talk about this to students, right, probably I will ask students this question, or maybe you can also ask yourself now, yes, do you really like a campus or city university? Okay, so if you have no idea, yeah, what's the difference between these two, let me show you. Yes, this is a map, okay, the campus map from Lancaster University, and I have this, the campus map from University of Edinburgh. Okay, so if you look at the left one, the Lancaster one, we know that this is a campus university where you can see those highlighted in light blue, purple, green. Those are the teaching buildings, the facilities of the university. It gathered in one place. Okay, so usually this kind of campus university, they also have only one main entrance to go into the universities. Okay, so if let's say you look at, I mean, if you compare with this Edinburgh one, those nailed in red are actually the teaching facilities, teaching buildings of the university. So let's say you are studying in this kind of campus, right? Okay, so let's say you are having different classes, okay, in different buildings in one day. Okay, so probably you need to take note on your traveling trip. Okay, you have to plan your traveling trip, because let's say you have your morning class in over here, okay, and you have afternoon class over here. So you need to plan it so that you don't need to rush, because probably you have, whether you want to walk from this place, from this place to this place, or you want to take a shuttle or something. Yeah. So again, depends on which one you prefer. Yeah, just to let you know, the left one is a campus university, the right one is actually a example of city university. Okay. So other than the campus style, probably you might want to ask this question to yourself, whether you really like a quieter study environment, or maybe places with more thriving social activities. Okay, so yeah, again, you have to take note, most universities have their own traditions and cultures. Share two pictures as a reference. Yes, I always encourage students, right? You can always go to the social media like YouTube to check out the videos shared by the university, shared by the students in that particular university, to see how's the experience if you're studying there. Okay, and of course you can also go to the Facebook and check out the Malaysian societies of the UK universities. So they always put some sharing experience. I mean, they will also share some experience, the activities in their university, so you can actually get to know more about it. So of course, before I end this part, I also want to highlight one thing. Okay, so I'm not sure whether you have this concern. Okay, but just to let you know, all UK universities are actually Muslim friendly. Okay, don't need to worry about this. This is actually not a concern. But if let's say you want to find out whether it's easier for you to access to halal products, or you want to have a bigger Muslim community, right? So I will share with you that, yeah, probably those cities, the biggest cities in the UK, that actually have a bigger Muslim community, and it's easier for you to, easily for you to access to Muslim product, like for example, the cities like London, Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool. Yeah, these are the cities that definitely no problem for you. To access to Muslim product, to have a bigger Muslim community. Okay, so of course, let's say you want to have a higher Muslim population. Yes, these are the cities. I wouldn't say that will be a problem. So yeah, if you for your, I mean, if let's say you have this in your mind, have this concern, I would say, yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, so I have done sharing with my 5 main factors to consider. Just do a quick recap here. Yes, first thing first, finances is definitely the one. Yeah, you have to take note on the tuition fees, the living costs. Yeah, these 2 are the main thing to take note. And then entry requirements, if you are UG students applying to an undergraduate program, yeah, probably you want to take note on the advanced entry. If let's say you already have gotten your result, you don't need to worry too much like applying, worry about whether you are meeting the entry requirements. Then the ranking system, the like QS World ranking, Times Higher Education ranking, also the award systems from the universities. Then try to check whether the courses offered by the university have the opportunity to study abroad, the placement opportunities. Then the last one, the life and the culture. Okay, I have done sharing this, and of course, just before I end my part, I really want to let you know that these are the main 5 factors to consider when choosing a university. Definitely, there are more factors to consider. There are more things to take note. But if you really want to find out more, yeah, talk to your counselor. I believe you've been getting in touch by your own counselor. You just need to approach them and talk to them and discuss further on this. Yeah. Okay. So I will end my part here and will pass back the floor to my colleague Sai, the Captain Sai, over to you.
Thank you, crew member Hong Wei, and thank you for all our crews. As we are now in doing our final checks before our landing, I just want you guys, you have stayed with us this far. Okay, I know some of you have asked questions. If you have more questions, you can PM Tapi or you can just type them in the chat. Okay, if you feel like raising up your hand and ask your questions verbally, you can just let us know. You are able to unmute yourself, okay, or ask us to do so for you. Before I go into before we dive into the Q&A sessions, I just want to check if everyone is awake before that screen. Okay, we're gonna do something a bit more exciting, just to get everyone back on their feet. Okay, roll your eyes that you're ready. I like that, Amir. Thanks for acknowledging that. Yes. Okay. And as I said, we're just gonna do something exciting to wake everyone up. Right. So let me do my share screen. Okay, before my slides, as I promised, there is some prize giveaway. Okay, so this is exactly me trying to rile you up and get you up. Okay, we have some, I'm just going to do some shout out for some of our upcoming webinars. Okay, if you have enjoyed what you have heard so far and you're wondering, you have an interest in some of the subjects, you're not quite sure, then mark your calendar. Okay, so coming up this Tuesday, yes, that's 3 days from now, at 5 p.m. On Tuesday, there is a webinar called Sustainability Through Engineering, and this is by Cranfield University. If you don't know much about Cranfield University, they are a wholly postgraduate university, meaning they don't do undergraduate studies. Everything is research. Okay, so Cranfield is one of the very few university who do so. If you are, your background is in engineering, whether it's civil engineering, mechanical, or even chemical or environmental, you feel like going the next step and you want to contribute to helping, our earth, preserving nature, then do tune in, okay? Sustainability through engineering. And coming up, and another one which is very different, okay? You enjoy those cinema movies, movies such as, I don't know, from the time of Avatar, and now you have more recent, maybe the Avengers, the Endgame, etc. And you wonder, how do they make all those effects? We call them visual effects, okay? In short, they are called VFX, okay? If you're wondering, those techniques that's being deployed, then tune in these sessions. This is happening on the 22nd on Thursday at 5 p.m. Okay, how do you sign up? There is a link at the bottom. It's bit.ly the switchboard -UKEC. Actually, this is our generic link. You can just follow. If you follow us on social media, then you will be you can always keep in touch with all our upcoming webinars. Today might be engineering, next week might be arts and design. The following week can be about biological sciences or computer science, okay? And as I promised, I'm hoping to, oh, sorry, I'm just going to do one shout out for Cranfield, okay? Because Cranfield is coming up on Tuesday. So you're gonna, I know some of you has asked about scholarship, okay? So besides the university scholarship and besides, Kazana, Mara, JPA scholarships, the British Council and UK University, they have rolled out these, what they call Great Scholarship, okay? It's only for master's courses. So if you are thinking about studying masters in the UK, then this is for you. They have many different subjects, okay? So because it's engineering coming up next, I'm just going to do a shout out. For example, Newcastle University, they have electrical power, mechanical engineering, and EEE. And if you are applying for any of these courses, then the scholarship deadline is 29th of April. I'm going to tell you shortly what does the deadline mean, okay? So meaning you need to have applied, receive an offer from the university before you are able to apply for the scholarship, okay? So meaning you're not thinking about applying only on the 29th, but you need to have first applied to the university and being accepted. You receive at least a conditional offer, okay? Besides Newcastle, as I promised, that's Cranfield because they're coming up on Tuesday. If you want to study renewable energy, advanced motorsport engineering, astronautics, space engineering, and there are actually plenty more that you can qualify for the Great Scholarship. Okay, there is also Dundee, some of the industrial engineering and international finance, and even industrial engineering and management course. I think we have Derby, yes, civil engineering and construction management, geoenergy, and yes, this is what you need to do. You need to first apply. These are the universities that with approved courses, and you need to receive an offer before the deadline, and finally you need to submit a separate scholarship application. Okay, so I hope that is clear to you. Don't worry if you have any doubts, you're not sure, you can't pick up, just ask any of your counselor. Okay, if that doesn't wake you up, there is another furthermore about computer science. Okay, I know you guys have so many different interests. There's engineering students, there's computer science. A quick shout out for computer sciences. So this one has passed. I just want to show you that not all universities have the same scholarship deadline. So Bristol, because it's so popular, they have gone past the deadline. But don't worry, you have more. Newcastle, data science, cloud computing, and you have Birmingham City University with their artificial intelligence, big data analytics. You have Anglia Ruskin, which is based in Cambridge, computer science, cybersecurity, machine learning, and I think last but not least, you have Keele University with their advanced computer science program as well as computer science. Okay, so these deadlines are not very far. Okay, so if you are completing your undergrads and you're thinking about doing your master's this September, then do apply. Okay, get in touch with your counselor and put in an application soon. Okay, right. As I mentioned, if that doesn't wake you up, then I hope this will do the job. As we promised during your sign up, there is prize giveaway. We're gonna give out a UKEC notebook. Okay, as you see here it is, postcard and Fortnum and Mason tea bags. Okay, Fortnum & Mason is a very established brand, only found in the UK. Okay, it's a luxury tea, and their base is only in London. Okay, so yeah, we're giving them out together. Okay, so how can you win them? How can you win them? First of all, follow us on Instagram. Okay, you can find our ID UKEC Malaysia. Wow, I hope some of you are already doing that. Okay, you need to locate any of these posts. So they are the two webinars that I have shown you. Don't worry, I will bring that up shortly again. What you have to do is find those posts, tag 2 of your friends. Okay, 2 of your friends, not your 2 other accounts, but 2 of your friends. And in the comment section, you can type, let's join this together. Okay, so this is actually a speed test. So if you are following me, then you need to complete these steps. Follow us on Instagram, locate these posts. I'm going to show you in the next slides. Tag 2 friends in a comment and say, let's join this together. Okay, so which are the 2 polls? So we have the Cranfield Sustainability through Engineering. And we have the other one is from Arts University, Bournemouth, about VFX. Okay, we Sorry?
Choose one.
Yep. Yes, your multiple entry is actually accepted, but this is about speed test, and we're gonna see how is our response, and if we feel like we are generous, we will tend to give out a bit more prizes. Okay, prizes will be mailed to you. We will notify the winner by DMing you on Instagram. Okay, so off you go. You should do it now in case you were wondering. Okay, I'm just going to give maybe maybe 2 minutes before I proceed with our next session, which is our Q&A. Okay, let's see if we have any entries already.
We have for AUB.
Wow, we already have entries for this is really speed test because we already have entry for AUB. Yeah, so it's sustainability through engineering and the VFX.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. I think we are definitely able to pick some winners. Okay. Okay. We will verify. We will. My colleagues will spend some time to verify whether the two accounts. Okay. And then we will notify you. Okay. We'll notify you via our Instagram. Thank you for taking part. Yes, but don't worry. Don't be put off. There is also chance to win. Okay. I promise you, there's chance to win. Yeah. Another. Because I'm feeling quite gracious today, so we will give out more prizes later. Okay, so stay with me. Right, and then at this moment, I am just going to pause. Okay, because now that you guys are awake, I think this is the perfect time to do this. I'm going to ask you guys to turn up your video, turn up your camera. We're going to take one group photo. Okay, you're going to take a group photo. Yeah, I mean, this is your achievement that you have stayed this far on this day. Okay, so turn up your camera. You won't have time to do makeup, sorry, but you all look good. Okay, so if you can all just turn up your camera. Should I stop my screen share? Is that better? Okay, I'll stop my screen share. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I can see more of you. Yep, if you can turn up your camera. I'm not sure how you guys plan to do it. But we will, for the rest of you, we will just smile to the camera as I count 1, 2, 3, and we will let my colleague work their magic. So maybe colleague, each one of you can take some screen. Okay. Okay, ready? Big smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we just in case we are going to do maybe one more. Okay. Okay, one more. Big smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good, great stuff. Thank you, guys. That's very sporty. Yes, and as I say, if that is not enough, don't worry. This now is not about speed test. Okay, we're going to do a bit more quality. We have another one webinar coming up the following Wednesday. Okay, so that's on the 28th, and this one is about studying. If I'm not mistaken, this is about. Let's see. Yes, this is about global tech companies. Okay, so this is very much a mix of IT and also in the business realm. Okay, and we are doing this with Keele University. Okay, so there will be Dr. Panos Sosonis from Italy. He's a lecturer in economics and finance. He will be speaking on the topics of big technology firms and competition. Okay, whether they have become too big. Yeah. So and also during that sessions, what they are inviting one of a Malaysian student to share her experience currently studying in Keele University. Okay, so do not miss out. If you're interested in computer science, for just tech in general, and also with a bit of interest in business, so this is the one for you. So what you're going to do is, so it's very similar. Follow us on Instagram, locate that post, okay? Locate that post, and don't worry if you are tuning in and tagging 2 friends, that's okay. But we are not looking at speed test. How you join is tag 2 friends and comment. I think you should join this because, okay, you can give some reasons. This we will pick the best comments. Okay, we will probably pick at least 2. Okay, 2 of the best comments. Yeah, you have until tomorrow 5 p.m. Okay, So this is not a speed test, so take some time, read up the captions, what the course is all about, the webinar is all about before you put in your entry. Okay, so yes, I think that is all. We are going into our Q&A because many of you have asked questions. Okay, yeah, okay, so let me pull up my questions. Joyce, can you do a share screen? I will, because I've compiled my questions on the side. Don't know, maybe there's a connect with this. Okay, right. We have quite a couple of questions. I will try to answer all of them. Okay, as best as we can. Okay, right. First questions. Right. If you are wondering, we won't be able to reshare the Zoom recording. But yes, if you have any information, if you have any questions about any of the slides, you want more information, please feel free to WhatsApp reply your counselor. Okay. Each of you would have been approached by one of our colleague. Okay. So they are the one who will be able to assist you along the way. Okay. We have a questions from a student who are asking, I'm not entirely sure if I understand your questions perfectly. The question is basically about a friend who is now studying. Previously, the friend was in University of Malaya and now studying in Korea. I'm not sure whether she's doing the same level of course, but I hope I try to understand both. So there are two possibilities, whether they are actually doing credit transfer, meaning they have done part of their degree locally and then they are now transferring to complete the rest of them in a different country. Or if your friend has completed a degree program, then she might be doing a master's. There is no stopping if she wished to do another degree, another undergraduate degree overseas. That is okay too. Okay, university don't judge and they don't say you can't do 2 bachelor degree. Okay, so that is entirely a personal decision. Right. I will ask the next questions, maybe directing to Joyce. Okay, Joyce, there's a question about, is it hard to seek employment in the UK, knowing that we are Malaysians?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think I should, how shall I say? I should first clarify that in UK, equal opportunities is very important. Okay, so companies are not allowed to choose their employees based on certain background. Okay, whether it's your nationality, your sexuality, your age, they're not supposed to do that. Or even your disability. They are only supposed to choose their employees, recruit based on skill sets, okay, or whether or not you meet the requirement of the job responsibilities, the job scope, and relevant skills and experience. So in short, to answer your question, no, knowing that you are a Malaysian will not, should not affect your chances of being employed. Okay, it should really come down to your skills, your experience, whether or not it fits the requirement of the job that you eventually be recruited. So yes, that is the straightforward answer.
Right, thanks, Joyce. I would. Sorry, because we are in the same space, so that's a bit echoey. I would just add on to that answer, is that if anything, so they don't judge you by nationality because they don't expect you to put those into your application, okay? Don't even put pictures, that's in the UK. No, they will not discriminate against gender or against your background, okay? So which is why they do not require those information when you put in an application. They don't even ask you how old are you, okay? I wanted to add in, if anything, us being Malaysians, we have the added advantage because we don't come from a singular culture, meaning we are already exposed to quite diverse cultures. You know, we have friends who are from different ethnicity. We understand a bit better about cultural interactions. So if anything, and we are able, some of you are able to speak. We are all able to speak more than one language. Okay, at the very least, there's Malay and there is also English and any additional languages that you picked up. And I think that is very valuable for us at this very international, very globalized market. Okay, right. Coming to the next questions. Right. If anyone wants, I know there are a few questions about scholarship. Okay, so in general, because each scholarship have their own criteria and also their deadlines. So the best thing to do is to check them up. Okay, so my colleague Jay showed an example of Mara. Because I know that many of you would be concerned with Mara. So if you are thinking about Mara, the example that we're given, so I'm just trying to emphasize some of the points. For Mara postgraduate scholarship application, we call it the GREP, the Graduate Excellence Program. They ask you to, it needs to be, if you're going to the UK, it needs to be the top 20 university in that particular chosen subjects. Okay, if you want to study chemical engineering, then you go to the QS World University Ranking. You look for the subjects in chemical engineering, only the top 20. And if out of the top 20, there's only 3 universities in the UK, and that is the only 3 that you can apply. Okay, so every scholarship body will have their own criteria. And of course, Mara will ask you to have a CGPA of 3.9 and above. Okay, so that's something for you to work out. But in general, to apply for a scholarship, you need to first apply to the university and receive at least a conditional offer. Okay, it doesn't have to be an unconditional offer. A conditional offer will do. And I think I will also use this to answer the other questions. The other student asked, they are in the final year. Should they apply? Can they apply now, or should they wait until they completed their program? So to answer you that questions, because you are not expected to have to always apply after completing, you can apply now with your latest results. Okay. And if the university feel that you meet their entry requirements, they will offer you a conditional offer. So they ask you that, in your final grades, your degree, you need to achieve maybe CGPA 3.5 or 3.67 and above. Okay, so you can apply now. Okay, you don't have to wait. Only apply now if you're thinking about a 2021 September intake. If you're applying for next year, 2022, then you have to wait at least until this September. Okay, so normally the UK university starts in September, the major intake, right? Next questions, right? I think that will also be a question for Joyce. Does the UK and Ireland favor hiring international graduates? How can a student stand out when they are looking for jobs?
Okay, certainly. If you're saying whether or not they favor international students, I think that would be actually a plus point. Just like what Sai mentioned, as being Malaysian, we don't come from a single culture background. We are a Muhiba country, so we know about some Chinese culture, we know about some Indian culture, Malay culture. So yes, what employers, I'm saying employers, not just in UK and Ireland, but generally speaking, employers like to have new recruits who have that widened perspective, to have that international knowledge or the awareness of the differences in cultures, in different workplace, in different countries. So yes, again, in short, the UK and Ireland, they do favor hiring international students. The only one thing previously, they kind of had difficulty in doing that because they needed to sponsor the visa for international students to be able to get a work there. But right now, you guys are a lucky batch because starting this summer, 2021 summer, which is like July, students who graduate from the UK universities, they can automatically apply for a 2-year visa. Okay, under this situation, UK employers will not need to worry about your visa, okay? Because you can take your 2-year post-study visa and to just get work there. So they don't have to worry about you. So the more reason that they do favor international students, because you have the skills, you have the mindset, and you don't need them to worry about your visa. Yeah, it's just after 2 years, there are other things. I'm not going to complicate things, okay? But they will need to have discussion with you in extending your visa, but that happens 2 years later. Who knows? Within this 2 years, you might have gained enough experience or knowledge and even networking skills that you want to go elsewhere or even come back to Malaysia to support the development of our country, okay? So then in your first 2 years after you graduate, that's no problem working in the UK and Ireland, okay? Yes, I answered that.
Okay, thank you, Joyce. Right, we go on to next questions. Right, I think there are a few questions about, in general, it's about racism, it's about discrimination, it's even about Islamophobia. Okay, and I think I can see where this questions is coming. So I'll try to address some of those questions all together. So I think it's fair to say that racism exists in almost every country. Yeah, I think it's even in Malaysia, we each of us, however different, maybe not just our race, not just our religions, but even our own cultural background, and even to the extent of your personal preferences, people face different types of discrimination. So really, in the UK, in general, the UK universities are very open-minded. You know, they are very receptive towards international students because they have been recruiting and they have been having international students for some of them. They have done this for more than a century. Okay, you see some of the oldest UK universities, they have grown very much to be international students have grown to be very much part of the local community. So I think one advice is to mention is to be culturally sensitive, and the second thing that I think is most important is actually being street smart. Okay, because take for example, if you know very well that in this local community there is this particular street which is notorious for drinking, for bar, for nightclub activities, you're not going to make the mistake of risking walking on that street on a Friday night, especially. Okay, because Friday it's like everyone is loosened up, even for working adults, etc. I can assure you, even in Malaysia, you wouldn't want to do that because a drunk person will have no responsibility for their behavior. Okay, and normally they will find people whom they think are vulnerable. So vulnerable can mean people who are different from them. They see it as different from them. So yeah, that's something that you do not want to risk. And of course, and we have read many episodes. I think being street smart is also knowing how to avoid those dangers. Okay, stay away from those danger, and if you have to do it, then travel in groups, and that will kind of minimize that possibility. Okay, but by and large, at the university and campus environment, because they are so used to international students, and especially even our Muslim friends, university always have that prayer facility. In a halal concept may be a bit different, but it's widely, you can find them in most of the established universities and local cities. Okay, so I hope that answers the questions. Yes, sorry. Oh, yes, and my colleague had, if she has not done that, she will be posting a link. Okay, so one of our students, one of our summer interns, her name is Asila. So she did a webinar called "The Scoop on Muslim Students Living and Studying in the UK." Okay, so if you have not watched it and you want to know what is Muslim students' life living in the UK is like, do go and watch. It's on our YouTube playlist. Do check it out. So I think that will probably give you a bit more perspective, okay, because this is coming from Muslim students already in the UK. Okay, so be sure to click on the YouTube link. You can save it for another time if you're not free. Okay, and Farula asked questions about courses in library and archive studies. Okay, no, sorry, it's actually information science. Yes, you spot on. The UK has so diverse courses. Okay, so studying something as niche as this can be really advantageous. If you're asking about what are the recommendations, suggestions, and you can definitely consult your counselor. Okay, the one who has WhatsApp you, drop you a text. That's something that you can ask them. What we do is we have a subject portfolio for most of the subjects that you can think about, and I think we will be able to share with you what are some of the recommended universities. Normally, it's a compilation of entry requirements and also the tuition fee. So you get to see a range of fees. You pick one that you are comfortable, okay, because you don't want that financial burden down the line. Okay, yeah. If you want to ask me on the top of my head, I think Loughborough University has one of the best they are even that special that they can call a course in library and information system management. Okay, so it's all about processing information in a very large archives kind of idea. Okay, right, moving on. I'm not sure. Right, Ayman asked questions about UCAS. Okay, passed the deadline and couldn't prepare all the documents needed on time. Is there any action that you would suggest? Maybe I will just open this question to one of our counselor, Jay. Jay, can you answer that question? So students.
For Ayman, yes, you are still able to apply now, and because most of the universities are still open for application is because it's very subject to the course vacancy, which means that as soon as the place is filling up, they will close the application. So if you still intend to continue with your application, I will advise you to do it as soon as possible. All right, so I think you can further discuss this with your counselor about the application. So yeah, we will further guide you through the application.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah, so very short answer is yes, you can apply and you should do it now. Okay, after the 30th of June, UCAS will enter a stage called UCAS clearing, whereby you can only apply to one course at one time and you have to wait until the university replies you. Okay, so be sure to do it before 30th of June, because before that, you can still apply up to 5 university courses. And if you I hope you have not forgotten, if you apply through UKEC, we offer the UCAS application fee waiver. Okay, so you don't have to pay for the UCAS application fee. Right, next one. So I have a questions about cost. So I'm going to direct this to Joyce. In terms of everyday cost, how much would a student need in order to survive?
Okay, this is very much depend on your spending pattern. Okay, I can give you really high number. I can also give you a cost that is really low. So it really does depend firstly on your spending pattern. But let me just sort of break it down according to what, generally speaking, more towards the lower side as well. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, my grocery shopping, if I want to like weekly grocery at that time, maximum was £30, and £30 a week. Okay, we're just breaking it down for a week. £30 a week includes a lot of like high protein, good vegetables, good fruits, and sometimes some snacks. Like, you know, if any one of you like Ben and Jerry's ice cream, when they're on promotion, it's £1 one tub. It can be that cheap, yes. So £30 is a splurge already for myself. One person, I cook for my own meal, okay? So, but usually 20. And then let's talk about accommodation. Now, accommodation, again, it depends what type of accommodation that you are choosing. There's university accommodation. There's also private accommodation. Even for university accommodation, you split into whether it's ensuite, which means you have your own bathroom, but you share the kitchen with your flatmates, or you have a shared toilet, okay, shared bathroom, and you just have your own room. So again, these are different tiers, different level. And if you go to stay at a private accommodation, which means you don't stay at the university, again, it's a shared house, whether shared house with how many people, that's also different charges. And then if you choose to stay in private accommodation, usually they don't charge you, they don't help you to pay for your utilities. So your gas, your water, your internet, you have to pay that by yourself. But if you choose to stay at university accommodation, then everything is inclusive, whether it's the gas, electricity, the water bill, the internet bill, they are all inclusive. So what type of these accommodation would you like to choose? So that has great difference, as well as what Hong Wai mentioned earlier, whether you're living in the city center itself, or whether you're, or even London. Are you studying in London, or are you studying elsewhere outside of London? Even when we say outside of London, you also still have other big cities like Manchester. Manchester is another big city. Cost of living might be slightly lower than London, but definitely higher than other smaller places like, I don't know, Leeds or Sheffield, that kind of places, okay? But I'm still going to give you a figure, okay? I'll try to give you a figure. Weekly wise, if you choose to go for private accommodation, which doesn't include of your bills, you can go as low as, say, £70, £80 a week. Yes, a week, okay? That's without including bills. Again, if you include bills, sometimes it will go 80 something, 90 pounds a week, okay? Let's say 90. That is the cheapest option, okay? We're talking about the cheapest private accommodation. If you choose to go for university accommodation, usually university accommodation, it's about 100 something, 120 pounds a week. Okay, so let's just say this is your first year. You want to stay at university accommodation. You don't want to go outside because you're not familiar with the environment. So you go with university accommodation, which includes all the utilities, so that you don't have to worry about paying your own bills as well. Let's say 120, okay? 120 outside of London though, okay? London could be really, really expensive, could go up to like 180, 200 per week also, okay? 120, that's my accommodation per week. My grocery, if I cook for myself almost every day, like I said, 20 to 30, let's take the maximum, 30. So that's 150 pounds per week, okay? 150 pounds per week, if you times 4, and that's about 600 pounds a month, okay? So that is something I would say, if you have 600 pounds a month, you could actually live a comfortable life there as a student. Because a lot of things, okay, also a lot of things you need to take in consideration is, for example, transport. Okay, most of these university, especially if you live in university accommodation, okay, it's within walking distance to your uni. And so you save that on your transport. You don't need to take bus, you don't need to take Grab. In fact, taxis are expensive. No students would think about taking taxis, okay? Bus, and if you take bus, they are cheap because they have student tickets, like £1 per ticket, or even if you buy like monthly tickets, again, you save a lot on that. So you save on transport, okay? And then what else? So transport, eat out, okay, once again, like I said, depending on your spending behavior, some people like to eat out almost every day. Some people don't. So if you choose to eat out, again, depends. It can go as cheap as £6-7 a meal. It can go up to like 10-20 pounds a meal. Okay. But generally speaking, if we consider your accommodation and your grocery for a week, like I said, £600 for a student, that would be a comfortable life, I would say. Okay, I hope that answers your questions. Of course, there are other things that you can consider, other elements as well. But if you have further questions than this, be sure to speak to your counselors, okay?
Thank you, Joyce. Yes, before I go to the next questions, I see that both Aiman and Farula has also replied to our response. Okay, so I'll just very quickly reply to Aiman. So yes, the last UKAS deadline, what we call the equal consideration deadline, was 29th of January. After any student who apply after the deadline, it is subject to the course availability. So you're right, some popular courses and some popular university, they would have closed the application by now. Okay, so which is why it's very important to apply before the deadline. By now, what you can apply, if you only aim for University of Manchester, then yes, unfortunately, you have to wait until the UKAS clearing stage. Okay, but like I say, you can only apply to one course at one time. Okay, if you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, you still want to have other options, then you can go ahead with a UKAS application and apply to five different courses. Okay, I hope that answers your questions. Farula, yes. Okay, your questions is about whether it is distance learning. No, at this moment, the UK University the government has not actually announced the definite plan for September. But I think with the numbers and with all the COVID-19 vaccines that is already available, it's anticipated that they will go with what we call a blended learning approach. Okay, meaning the university will open up to international students where the country allowed them to travel. Students will be on campus, and where social distancing is possible, like for example, smaller tutorial classes, then you will meet physically. But if it's a bigger lecture hall where social distancing is not possible, then that will be in the online context, remote learning. Okay. So really it is up to what will be the case for different countries. Yes, if you choose to do it online, you are able to do so. Okay, but the only reminder and the only thing that I need to remind students is that if you want to make use of the graduate route visa, you need to be in the UK by a certain time in order to apply for that 2 years extension. Okay, and I think that is actually a big part for most of the postgraduate students because you want to have the international experience. So really, yeah, I would just encourage, if the situations permits at that time, September intake, then go for it. Okay, I hope that answers your questions. Yeah. I'm going to the next questions. Right. Okay. I see our co-organizer, co-host from UITM Seremban has also been encouraging you guys. So just a reminder that you need to fill out the form, a Google link in order to get your certificates. Okay. So be sure to click on the link to register to complete. Okay, so questions about IGCSE certificate. Is it also useful, and is the validity for IGCSE English also for 5 years? So I think these questions are best. Well, I can refer them back to Jay because you presented this part. Jay.
Yeah, so actually it's very much depends on the university own policy. So generally they are looking for those English qualifications like IGCSE and SPM they have done within 5 years. Apart from this, university they will also take like other things into consideration, like is your previous academic fully taught in English, or also they will take into consideration like your personal statement is an essay about yourself. So that's where you can also like try to showcase your English proficiency. So all these things they will take into consideration, and then in the end they will release the decision whether you should take IELTS or not. So yeah, and that's why we also ask the student to apply as early as you can so that you have time to get ready for those pending conditions. So in short, as I said, universities are looking for those IGCSE or SPM that are done within the 5 years. If you say not, then you should still go ahead for apply first to let the university to review your eligibility for your requirement first, right?
Thanks, Jay. I think that's so very helpful. Standard is 5 years. I think I just want to add one thing. Because of pandemic, people are unable to travel. So some university may take that into account and give concessions. They may consider up to another extra year because for the large part of last year, no one has been able to do anything. Okay. So yes, don't worry. If you have doubt, just consult your counselors and we will be able to verify with the university. Okay, yes, another question is about Joyce. I think that's for you. Students, after graduating, will the university help the student find employment after I have completed my course? Is there a career department or services that I can refer to on campus?
Okay, thank you for that question. So all universities, I would say, all universities, they have what we call the Career Service Department. The Career Service Department offers help and workshops to all their students, helping them and supporting them in their application. So for examples, they have CV workshops, which teaches you how to write a CV. They even have CV and what we call sort of like proofread check for you. So you can actually submit your CV to them and book a one-to-one time slot with the guidance counselor, and they'll be able to sort of like pick up some glaring mistakes or teach you how to structure your CV. You could also book one-to-one time with them to do interview practice, okay? And like I said, plenty of workshops, free workshops for you to register. And even sometimes these workshops, they are hosted by employers. Okay, so universities will invite employers to come in and do specific topic kind of workshop, or some of them will give skills workshop, so on and so forth. So make use of all these opportunities and to just put yourself out there, okay? And to learn and to pick up new skills. But if you're saying whether or not the university will help you to find a job, the straight answer is no. They won't help you to find a job and match you with a job But a lot of recruiters, they always advertise on university website, on their career service website. So if you sign up to the mailing list of the university career service, whenever there are jobs, they will be able to email you and let you know. So it's all about the proactiveness of a student. You can't just be expected and sit there and expect the university to link you up with an employer. No, you just need to put yourself out there, be proactive, attend the courses, attend the free workshop, get your CV check, practice your interview skills, put yourself out there to meet employers, to meet the recruiters. There will also be what we call job fairs. Every year, universities, they host big job fairs and invite a lot of recruiters to be there. So you should go and attend these job fairs and to just mingle with people, network with people, and put yourself out there and sell yourself, promote yourself. How do you upskill yourself as well? Take the opportunity to learn. I think just now there was another question that asked, is there any specific work that international students can do part-time, or can you choose freely? Basically, you can choose freely as long as it's a legal job, okay? There's no restriction and that says that, oh, as an international student, you cannot be, I don't know, you cannot be a bartender, you cannot be whatever, you cannot be a teaching assistant. No, as long as, like I said, you meet the requirement, the job requirement, okay, you have the right visa, okay, you, as a student visa, you work no more than 20 hours during your term time, okay, then yes, you can choose any job, any legal job, okay? So I hope I answered these questions. Over back to you, Sai.
Thank you, Joyce. Right. Yes, we'll take the next questions. I think this is a repeat, student asking, sorry. I think this question was about whether the student should apply first, okay, or whether they can, sorry, I'm planning on applying. Okay, sorry, let me read these questions better so I can reply. Okay. I will take another question first before I answer. Regarding sports science, does the university only provide research mode? I think the short answer is no. There's plenty of sports sciences program which is not research based. Okay, even a bachelor degree in sports science and sports management, sport performance, there's plenty of them. Loughborough University is probably one of the best one. But yes, if you want to find out about degrees or even master's program in sports science, you can consult our counselor. They will be able to feed you with more information. Okay. Yes, there's also questions because I think Honwai showed subject ranking for accounting and also a different ones. If you want to know about the different subject rankings, you can actually freely check this up yourself. You can go to the world rankings such as QS times higher education. If you want the more UK specific, you can go to Complete University Guide. Okay, Complete University Guide. Yeah, then you can type your subjects and then they will show you the subject ranking. Okay, right. Okay, if those specific questions about your personal applications, like such as your interests, and if you are thinking you have a tourism management diploma, you're looking for advice, what should you study for the next one, you can actually consult your individual counselor. Okay, because what we don't hope to give the wrong impression is that if you study this, we will map you to only one particular degree subjects. I think it's probably the best to ask you questions to find out what you really want to know, what you really want to do in order to deliver that personalized counseling experience. Okay. Yes. Yes, urban governance, yes, there are different courses, may not be exactly the same course title, okay, in case the student is wondering. There is urban planning and there is also public policy governance, and there is different types of programs. So if you want to know more, also check with your counselor, okay? Right, and let me see. I think we have probably come to just a few more questions. Okay, I know, yeah, people asking about urban town planning and also real estate, environmental administration. So these are your personal counseling, your interests. which I'm sure your counselor will be able to advise you. Because I'm aware of the time, so I'll take a bit more of a generic questions that can benefit everyone. Okay, right. Yes, LLB definitely. Again, check with the counselor. It's just that if you're thinking about doing a law program, then bear in mind, normally for Malaysians, we tend to go down, like you check a approved list of UK universities that is approved by our the LPQB, our local legal professional board. Okay, because not all UK universities law programs is recognized by our local authority called LPQB. They're not the Malaysian bar, but they are called LPQB. Okay. Yes, and the other questions about whether you need to pay your fee in full or you can do it on a monthly options. Not a monthly options. It's either in full. Normally, if you pay full fee, some university tend to give you a bit of discount. If not, it will be an installment plan. Installment normally they would, I think, the maximum they do is by term. Okay, so the UK academic calendar year is 3 terms. So if you split it down, you pay by 3 terms. Okay. I think that is most of the questions, unless we have a new one. Yes, questions from Abe. Abe about do doctorate studies need to be on campus same learning time as the undergraduate? The short forward answer is no. Okay. Normally in the first year of your PhD studies, you tend to spend a bit more time on campus because you need to attend lessons, classes on, maybe on research skills about SPSS, learning to use those analytics tools. So there will be more lectures for you to attend. But normally after that, in your second or third year down the line, you are very much a mature student, treated as a mature student who can handle your own time and do your own research. Okay, some people do tend to even start going into doing their own research off campus. That is fine. You just make sure that you can agree, your supervisor knows where you are, and you guys can agree mutually convenient time to meet to discuss your progress. Okay. Right, and I think that is all the questions. Yes, I have a question from another private chat. Can I still apply for a degree even though I already started my degree here in Malaysia? So short answer is yes, you are able to. Okay, but whether or not if you're completed maybe 1 year of your study or part of your study, you want to transfer those credits, then that is on a case-by-case basis. Okay. The more popular university, higher ranking, they do not accept, normally they don't accept credit transfer. They prefer you to start from first year with them. But there are plenty of UK universities who can accept you for your first year studies, second year, and onto their second or final year. Okay. Yes, I think that is all the questions I have. Yes. Unless you guys have any other questions you want to ask, that's your final chance. Okay. Meanwhile, I will just check this one last question that was asked, which I did not quite fully understand. Okay, let me read the question so that I can understand it better. What should we do first? Apply for university or scholarship? Okay, so this first part is a very straightforward answer. You need to have applied to the university first, okay? Because most scholarships will require you to have been accepted by the university, okay? Then you apply for scholarship. Is there any options for funding in scholarship is unavailable? So unfortunately, if you're looking externally in the UK, only the UK scholarships, okay? There are plenty others, not just university scholarship, there's British Council who offers scholarship for postgraduate studies. But if you are Malaysians, then you can check with your local banks. I know some banks now do offer loan, but that is entirely, depending on your bank bodies, okay? Right, and the second degree in medicine, again, that will be individual scholarship provider. Is their criteria, what type of courses and whether it's a second degree, whether they will approve. Okay, so I think that is the best I can do with all your questions. All right, thank you very much for all your time. I appreciate you staying with us. I like how your community is supporting us, with the certificate you can only get them if you stay until the end. But thank you very much for all your support. Okay. If you have any more questions, feel free to DM us or connect with your counselors. Okay. On behalf of UKEC of flight 211, okay, just going to say a big thank you. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of your journey. Okay, I hope the next time you hear this announcement again, you will be on the real flight over to pursue your dreams over in the UK. Okay, and don't forget, finally, if you want to get some of the prizes, do go and check out our latest post. Okay, right, it's the last post for Keele University, and you have until tomorrow. Okay, that's all. Take care, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you,
Stay
everyone.
safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Thank you. Goodbye.
Wow, that's very energetic.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Sama-sama.
Stay safe. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a good Ramadan, guys.